What's up, folks? You believe that? Hold on. Do you believe that? Please. Doubt y'all and they ain't gonna be personal. You think I'm gonna let them naysay y'all and they ain't gonna get personal?
Whoops. Did not mean to share that yet, but what's going on, Buff Nation? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I need to start out with an apology. An apology to all of y'all, because I forgot to bring my Ralphie horn on my weekend trip. So I had to put them on. I had to keep celebrating this wonderful thing. This could be a big milestone in our season with this dominating road victory over the UCF Knights. We're going to take a look at the performances of our players on offense, on defense. We're going to see how the lines graded out, the different pressures that were generated from our dominant defensive front that was just all over the place. Really impressive 4 quarters of football from our Buffs on the road in a rowdy environment. And this is probably a video that I'm going to get to tomorrow rather. But now you're seeing all the recruiting offers start to get announced, man. Now we're going after everybody else's guys. It's pretty exciting. And what better way for the Buffs to enter their first bye week with a 4-1 start? We'll take that every single time. Am I right? Take that every single time. And Kansas State, man. Kansas State here in a week and a half. That sucks. I'm going to be up so late. Many of you guys are going to be up so late, but I will be here. I'll be having coffee here pregame. You guys can get on, chat with me as well. We got to keep that going. I mean, we did a pregame this last game, and I mean, you saw how that went, right? We got to keep this up. So y'all be sure, smash that like, hit subscribe, and yes, we are live. What's going on, H? What is going on? And it's your boy Soul. Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, y'all be sure to let me know how you're doing in the chat. Again, please be sure to smash that like and subscribe if you like what we got going on here. And if you got some time, please search David Talks Buffs on Facebook. Give me a like. I'm like 30 or so followers away from being able to live stream on there. So that would be super helpful. That is how you can make my day today. But let's go ahead and get started into the reviews, the ratings of our players from Saturday evening, shall we? All right. So, and guys, usually when I go through this, when I've done this is my first look at things. So you're getting my first initial reaction to taking a look at these grades. Let's see who stood out, who impressed, all of that. Okay, so let's get into the pass blocking. Wow. First takeaway here, Jordan Seaton. Hopefully this looks okay, guys. And actually, maybe I'll switch up the view here. Maybe that's a little bit better for y'all, right? You can get a nice view. Jordan Seaton here, left tackle, 42 pass blocks, 78.3 grade as a true freshman. Man, this is incredible stuff. He is as advertised. He is. Yeah. Well, I was going to say Travis Hunter, but he doesn't play defensive line as well. But in terms of being as advertised, stepping in and playing a mighty impact role as a true freshman, you could even argue that Jordan Seaton might even be having a more productive and impactful season than Travis had his freshman year. Is that too crazy to say? Where you can see 42 pass blocks, 0 hits, 0 hurries, 0 pressure, 0 sacks. Looking at the true pass sets where they knew that we were going to be passing, right? 84.5 overall. Wow. So he's even getting better in those true pass sets. That's when he's playing his best. Wow. Don't you love to see it? Also, let's talk about the running backs, okay? We saw against Baylor, our running backs were straight booty at pass protection. And what did we see today or in this game? I think we saw improvement. Micah Welsh, 3 pass blocks, okay? Allowed no sacks, no hits, no pressures. Wonderful rating in both true pass set and in regular pass blocking. I talked about Tyler Brown. This was his bounce back game. Wasn't he so great? I mean, when I was watching the game, I noticed him kind of getting upfield on those run blocks, but great to see. I haven't taken a look at the all 22 for offense yet. I don't even know if that's been posted. It wasn't this afternoon yet. But anyways, Tyler Brown coming here in the passing game, allowed no sacks, no hits, 2 hurries, 2 pressures. I'll take that from Tyler Brown every single time. 72.2, great. You see Isaiah Gustive right here with his 2 pass blocks. He allowed no hits, hurries, pressure, sacks. Savell Smalls, and I noticed how he was blocking one of the right edge on Shedeur's first touchdown pass to Travis Hunter off of that play action, because we did have a run game going in this game. That's right. Savell Smalls was fantastic. So not surprised to see him have a 68.7 here in pass blocking. That's great. 4 pass blocks, no sacks, hurries, pressures, hits, any of that. All right. The room for improvement. Hank Zielinskis, 55.6. Philip Houston, 53.8. Philip Houston did allow a sack as well as a hurry and 2 pressures. Hank Zielinskis, 1 hurry, 1 pressure. I feel like this has been kind of par for the course for them. I'm not going to look back to their other games, but I feel like this is kind of around where they have been in pass protection. Kareem Harden, 47.8. You'll want to see him bring that grade up as time goes on. Again, how I feel about this is with how the offensive line performed as a unit against UCF. Keep that thing going. Keep that thing going. Let's see how they can do, building some continuity, right? Continuing to build that chemistry. And if something looks whack over time, then you make another substitution. But I thought that this was the best game our offensive line has played against a Power 4 opponent. Of course, CSU was fantastic, but I want to keep all these guys together. So I'm sure Kareem Harden was penalized for that holding penalty that he had. I believe it was a hold. And then Dallin Hayden, you see, had a 27.4. That's got to get better. Not really sure why when his stat sheet was just as nice as everybody else's. So I'm sure that will come up as I take a look at the offensive side replay here later this week or hopefully tonight. But biggest positive here is that all the guys that were blocking collectively allowed 1 sack, 1 hit, 8 hurries, 10 pressures. You'll take that every single time. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think we got a fantastic performance out of our offensive line. Love to see all these guys in the green. And most importantly, I love to see the sacks and the hits really low as well. So first takeaway is from the pass blocking. Now let's go ahead and move on into the run blocking. Hey, credit LeJontay Wester, a little bit smaller sized wide receiver, but showing up high here on the run blocking ratings. That's always great. Hank Zielinskis was our highest rated offensive lineman in run blocking, 64.7. And we saw that he was a little bit better in zone. Ben Resnick was up there because he got some action there at the end of the game with a 69.1. Nice. Tyler Brown right behind Hank Zielinskis in run blocking with 63. Let's continue down the starting lineup here. Man, they were hard on our guys today, man. I'll tell you that. Jordan Seaton with a 59.2. Philip Houston with a 58.5. Kareem Harden with a 57.8. And Savell Smalls with a 57.2. Very interesting. Again, my instant reaction to this is my first time seeing this is, hey, this is kind of what you get with PFF sometimes, where you'll watch the game and you'll see the statistics that we put up from a unit. And sometimes, man, these grades don't reflect it. I feel like everybody's grades needs to be higher in this, for especially for a UCF defense that was allowing under 70 yards rushing every game until Colorado ran up for over 110 on them, right? So I guess a nice thing that you can take from this is that nobody had terrible grades, right? Everybody's kind of around each other in this. And I say when you were watching the game, right? And even from the little clips that I've seen, you've just seen this offensive line. They're all working together, man. They're all working together. They seemed really in sync. And even though their grades aren't as high as I would have anticipated, collectively, they're all kind of around the same grade. And they all played together, right? They all played together. But what the heck, PFF? The PFF guys, they both chose on their college football show, those hosts, they chose Colorado to get the upset over UCF. And now they need to talk to these grade guys because it's like, what the heck? Let's continue to move on to the run defense. This is always great to see. No surprise here on the defensive line that Shane Cokes was our top defender against the run. Wow, wonderful to see. He's been solid all year, and I'm sure it really helped having Shedeur Sanders back. Excuse me, with a 69.6 grade. Let's highlight Shane Cokes here first. He had one tackle, which was awesome. Carter Stoutmeyer was great against the run as well. 5 total tackles. Preston Hodge, you saw how physical he was in the run game. And that's what was so cool about this particular defensive performance is that all 11 guys on the field were committed to stopping the run. We talked about how in order to get this win, it was just very important. Like we needed 100% commitment from all 11 guys out there. And I really did feel like we got that. Preston Hodge, he had a stop here on a third down, which was great. Nice to see the Anquin Barnes coming out party. 72.1 grade, 2 total tackles. That's awesome to see. Jalen Wester, he was fantastic. Now being that main guy in the off the bench in the rotation with Levante Bentley and Nakai Hill Green. He was all over the field. He had 3 total tackles. He had a forced fumble, of course, that Cameron Silman Craig took back to the house at the end, gave his little shark celebration. That was awesome to see. And again, BJ Green, 69.9. Nice. BJ, never loafing green. BJ, all conference caliber edge, transferring over to Colorado. Always thankful that he's here. Green. Absolutely love BJ Green. He was great today. He had 1 penalty. I guess Anquin Barnes does, but I don't even remember those penalties. Shedeur Sanders, again, 69.6 grade, 4 total tackles, 1 stop. He was dominant. He was all over the place. DJ McKinney was getting involved in there as well with 2 stops. Amari McNeil, Arden Walker, Samuel Okunloa. I mean, they were all just dominant. Amari McNeil, 3 total tackles and a stop. Arden Walker, you really noticed him on third down. 5 total tackles, 3 of those were stops. Samuel Okunloa, 4 total tackles, 3 of those were stops. Cameron Silman Craig, 3 total tackles, 1 stop as well. So I was just thrilled to see all these guys have success. I mean, similar to the Broncos' defensive performance on Sunday is like, I don't think we got any bad play out of anybody, man. Everybody played really well, and it's great to see the defense collectively just balling out, playing like dogs. I mean, they were menacing. Not only were they hitting, they were making painful hits. Remember Shedeur Sanders did that wrestler move, smash that dude. His smash, smash, smash. Like, that was awesome to see, man. Let's continue on. Then I'll get to some of your comments here in a little bit. Let's take a look at this pass rush grade. Samuel Okunloa does not surprise me to see that he was top on the team this game. 69.8. 4 pressures, 2 sacks, 2 hits. Win rate of 15.8. That's really nice. And you saw in true pass sets, when we were able to go after them on third down, whatever, that's when he got his 2 sacks. 3 of his 4 pressures. He was fantastic. Nakai Hill Green had some blitzes coming from Robert Livingston. He had a sack as well, 67.3 grade. You know, I did notice Tafik Thomas out there today, number 95. He's wearing the number 95 much better than Bishop, who are you, my fucking daddy, Thomas did last year. As much as I love Bishop Thomas, Tafik Thomas, definitely an upgrade. He's definitely surprising me this year. I think that he's been a nice underrated player for us that I think is exceeding expectations for most people. 2 total pressures, a hit, and a hurry. That was awesome to see. Taj McCoy, wasn't he fantastic? 61 grade, 2 total pressures, 2 sacks. Amari McNeil, 2 total pressures. We had Shane Cokes bringing 2 pressures. Arden Walker with a pressure and a hit. Anything else that sticks out? No, but collectively, guys, we had 17 pressures, 6 sacks, 5 hits, 6 hurries, and 4 penalties, man. I don't even remember that many, but BJ Green with a sack as well. I'll call that out. I loved that not only were we getting pressure off the edge in this game, but you saw how our pressure up front in the interior was really noticeable in this game, and it was making things very difficult for that UCF offense. I mean, if we're able to generate interior pressure like this against Kansas State, a team that is structured in somewhat of a similar way to UCF, I think that bodes very well for this defensive performance against Kansas State up here in a week and a half. All right, let's take a look at coverage grades. So happy to see this. Jalen Wester, 13 snaps in coverage, 75.5 grade. All right, I'm down with that. He had a pass breakup along with Travis Hunter, 74.9. Cameron Silman Craig, 73.2. Both of them had a pass breakup as well. Yeah, they were dominant. We saw Nakai Hill-Green. He was great. I mean, when we're getting this type of play from multiple linebackers, that's always a really good sign. DJ McKinney, 63.3 grade. I thought that he was great in coverage. Again, you saw Travis Hunter only gave up 25 yards. DJ McKinney, 33. Preston Hodge, they did attribute him to 110 yards through the air, but I mean, you saw how amazing he was getting that interception and another pass breakup. You saw how dominant he was in the run game, in run help as well. I was really impressed. Carter Stoutmire, he did give up that. I guess they attributed this to him, that touchdown pass from KJ Jefferson. So you see him drop down to a 48.7. Still been very impressed with our young guys that have gotten on the field and played. DJ McKinney, I think he's been stellar. Again, Carter Stoutmire has been wonderful in substitution for Shedeur Sanders while he's out. But we're a better team, guys, with Shiloh, man. I definitely agree with that. But I still think you'll see Carter on the field even with Shiloh returning. But I would expect Shiloh to be the starter. Levante Bentley, he got burned he got put one-on-one once with that running back. I'm already forgetting his name. That he's just absolutely sensational. RJ Harvey, that's right. And you saw, yeah, he got burned for that big touchdown. But outside of that, did not notice any gaffes in the coverage from those guys. Overall, I mean, when you're able to play man coverage like this and devote bodies to the run, devote bodies to creating pressure, I mean, it's everybody benefits, everybody eats. You saw how many guys had their moments on Saturday, and it was great to see all these other guys get in for a few snaps as well. The backups, Ivan Yates, Braden Keith, he's a walk-on. Savion Riley, Herman Smith, Colton Hood had 16 snaps, so that's good to see. Allowed 1 reception, so great stuff. I wanted to take a look here, right here at Travis Hunter's individual grade. Kobe Hudson had a 62.5 grade going up against Travis Hunter. That was fantastic to see. That they were wonderful. Kobe Hudson, 62.5. Well, I guess that's collectively, I guess. I don't know. But let me read the stat sheets. 1 reception on Travis Hunter for 23 yards. He was locked up. Kobe Hudson had 1 reception for 16 yards against DJ McKinney. That was, I love seeing that. Let's see if there's anything else that really sticks out here. Yeah, overall, I felt like we just had overall great coverage. Again, Kobe Hudson with going up against Travis Hunter, DJ McKinney, Preston Hodge, Colton Hood, collectively allowed 2 receptions for 39 yards. Incredible stuff. All right. Lastly, I guess we should take a look at how things went from like a passing and rushing standpoint. You can see Shedeur particularly was very good with the deep ball today or in this game. 2 of 2 from deep left, 118 quarterback rating. You saw deep center. He had 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, 149.3 NFL rating. That's so close to perfect. Um, and I mean, we killed him right here in the short game over the middle. A lot more crossers. I don't know if they're like hitch routes or like slants, but I just remember Shedeur Sanders just hitting guys. Travis Hunter, LeJontay Wester, Jimmy, like all these guys over the middle. I thought Pat Shermer had a great game plan coming into this game. Well, at least that's how it played out. So it must have been good coming into this game. And again, I think it's the third week in the row that we've gotten a really great performance out of the offense. And definitely this was our best performance as an offense collectively, definitely the most consistent. This was wonderful to see. And you saw when he was kept clean, 83.3% completion percentage. Under pressure, he was still just amazing. 72.7. But this is what really sticks out to me, guys, taking a look at this. There were 15 dropbacks and 14 attempts from when Shedeur was blitzed. This is how I know that Shedeur, he just had a great week of preparation for UCF. There was a great game plan involved with this. Guys, he had a 92.9 completion percentage when blitzed. That is insane. So when he was blitzed, and this was, 37.5% of the time, he was at his best. Like he was the most efficient. Granted, he threw that one interception when blitzed, right? At the beginning of the game. But he had that first blitz, and then he was essentially flawless the rest of the game from that second drive on when blitzed. I mean, that's insane to go 93% completion percentage for 139 yards, basically 10 yards per attempt when blitzed. Credit to Shedeur Sanders for knowing where to go with the ball, his quick decision making, and that goes into the offensive line performing better as well. Again, the great quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like all those guys, not the most mobile dudes. Shedeur is way more mobile than all of them, as you've been able to see. Well, both of those guys. But how did they work behind average or sometimes bad offensive lines? They were so good at knowing where to go with the ball pre-snap. They were so good at getting rid of the ball quickly to where it just erased any effect that a good pass rush could have on the offense. Shedeur did that in this game. I mean, 93% completion percentage when blitzed. Wow. And then you saw the benefits of having a real run game, a threatening run game. He had 5 completions off of 7 dropbacks on play action for 2 touchdowns and 76 yards. Doesn't get any better than that. And of course, we know that Shedeur is a deep play quarterback. He was fantastic on those deep passes, 94 rating essentially. He was really, really good, but he was fantastic, I thought, in the short game, getting rid of the ball quickly. Again, 45% of his attempts came from that short range from the line of scrimmage to 9 yards down the field. And I mean, he ate them up. 115 yards, 7.2 yards per attempt. So when you're throwing short and you're gaining 7.2 yards every time, that's putting you in a second and short or a third and short or a third and short first down conversion, like every single time. He was so good in that category. So I guess I could take a look at the rushing as well. Um, I mean, let's look at the yards per attempt. Isaiah Augusta was great, 9.8 yards, 39 yards on 4 carries. Shedeur Sanders, it was nice to see him get upfield a little bit, 9.3 yards. Michael Welsh, 5.2 yards. Traylon Miller got a rush out of the backfield for 4 yards. Charlie Offerdahl had 3 for 11 at 3.7. You saw Down Hayden, he had 11 attempts for 33 yards, 3 yards on average, but you saw that, hey, he was able to get a nice 14-yard touchdown there at the beginning of the game. I thought we had a great running game attack and performance from all 3 of our running backs. They got hot at different times, had their moments, and it was nice to see Draylon Miller even get a nice carry for 4 yards. I would love to incorporate still a few carries for him every game, just to keep the defense honest when he's in the game, that it's not just a pass. So overall, guys, great performance by our team. I mean, you didn't need to look at the PFF grades for that, but always impressed to see how these guys are doing from a week to week basis. And again, really my only qualm is like, man, what the heck's going on with the run blocking grades? I mean, I just thought that we deserve grades so much higher. So let's give everybody a 10-point bump and call it good, right? So with that being said, I'll get to some of your comments and wrap this thing up. Hey, Paul Simmons, thank you so much for the support. Good to see you. How about Jaden Daniels, man? How about Jaden Daniels with the Washington Commanders? By the way, you got to be thrilled to see him still building on those couple years at LSU, man. That's why I think that we're seeing a new trend develop in college football where taking all 4 years ain't a bad thing. When you're a more finished product coming to the NFL, that's not a bad thing. But anyways, 3 months ago, we were hoping for 5 wins. Now we're thinking playoff, and that's with no alcohol involved. Hey, man, I love it. Again, if this team can come out and play that consistent against UCF, against all these other opponents, I mean, who knows what happens? Like, there's nobody that we can't go toe-to-toe with and beat when we're playing at our best like that. I think what's so encouraging is that we finally saw what this team plays like at their best. Like, we played at our best. And we're seeing this team ever since that wake-up call against Nebraska. We've seen this team improve every single week. Let's continue to see that growth and development. Man, Stanford, what's going on, man? Sco Buffs. Sco Buffs. Soulful Healing, go Buffs. Love to see you guys in here. Chanel all day, the apology tour in effect. Yes. Special teams and apology. Good Lord, they played great. They played great against UCF. The coverage was there. And, I said that Marv Bassett was going to have to be MVP if we were going to win this game because it was going to involve field position. But we were just dominated on offense and defense, and we didn't screw up. I mean, what did he punt, like twice? Marv Bassett's only punting 2 times a game. We are great. And shout out to Mata, man. He's getting better every week. It's great to see him lifting those kicks. That's what I thought we were going to get from Mata week 1 and week 2, man. That's what I thought. Because surely you're practicing that all offseason long, lifting the kicks. He's looked so much better over the last couple weeks. Again, credit to him, Coach Prime, all those guys sticking with him. Yeah, Chicago flow, just flow. Hey, Dave, still waiting on the defense all 22 we discussed on X earlier, but I love your PFF breakdowns too. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I haven't had time just with work this afternoon to jump in there yet. So those will be coming tomorrow. Definitely will be. But thank you for your patience. And yeah, definitely going to be highlighting how dominant this front seven was this past game. It was great to see. Yeah, definitely. Chidoze tried to stamp the guy's number into the field, watching too much WWE. Yes, that was my favorite hit of the game, man. We smashed him in, man. It was awesome. Digital K844. What's going on, dude? Great to see you in here. Always love chatting buffs with you. Jalen Wester needs more playing time. Hell yeah, he does. He was awesome in this game. And if we got those 3 linebackers like that, like, good Lord, man, we're not missing Brian Urlacher. I just got to say it. I imagine Trevor's probably going to transfer out somewhere else because I would just imagine, even though we have an older linebacker room right now, our starting linebackers are seniors, I just think that we're going to go get more guys like Jalen Wester, right? Guys that are speedy, or guys that are like Nakai Hill-Green that can come into this defense and play well. So best of luck to Trevor. I do want to see him continue his career and to play. But right now we got a handful of guys that are just better. And it's great to see Jalen Wester being patient for his moment and just capitalizing it. I mean, making that impact play, making impact tackles, forcing that fumble. It was great to see. It was great to see. And credit to Coach Hart. Another apology tour for Coach Hart. I was calling this guy to get ready for FCS over the offseason, right? Man, and now you could say that his linebacker, like his group, might be the best prepared one. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. It's wonderful to see. Smash that like button. You guys know how it is. Go find me on Facebook too. I need to get to 100 so I can live stream on there. I'm at like 67, I think. So just search David Talks Buffs on Facebook. Give me a follow. That would make my day. I don't need any super chats. I need follows on Facebook so I can live stream over there. Dave, I'm calling it right now. 52-10 CU over Kansas State. Would love to see it. Love to see it. And this is going to be a fun game because Avery Johnson, he's going into a rowdy environment. They're at Folsom. The lights are going to be on. And we're used to playing this late. We played a lot of late games last year, so hopefully that goes in our favor. But this is going to be such an exciting game. Of course, you got the added little stuff to the renewed rivalry now with Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards leaving us to go to Kansas State. So, man, we got to make them, feel bad about that physically. You know what I'm saying? We got to hit hard. We got to inflict pain to everybody on that KSU offense, man. I'm not calling for any cheap shots. I'm not calling for any, not deflate gate. Man, what was the Saints thing? Bounty gate. But I am saying, man, we better be hitting good. I absolutely love our defense so far. In your analysis of the off report, of the what report, and your analysis of the off report is much watched TV. Well, thank you. Of the PFF report. Thank you. That's probably what you meant. Yes, that means a lot, Chicago Flow. It's always cool to take a look at those stats again. Looking at Shedeur Sanders, 93% completion percentage when blitzed, the 14 passes. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, you better get pressure with 3 or 4, right? If Shedeur is going to be on his game like that, right? So, I think it's something that we learned a lot from going up against Nebraska, going up against Baylor with a lot of those creative blitzes that they had in pass rush. I mean, granted, I do think, again, I haven't watched the replay yet, but I do feel like UCF played us a little bit more straight up like we were expecting, but they did blitz. They blitzed 14 times or 15 times, 14 dropbacks. And we were prepared. Like, that statistic tells you that we were just so prepared for, those creative rushes. Awesome to see, man. Yeah, Chidoze, Nakai Hill-Green, Bentley, like all these guys are just balling out, man. It's wonderful to see. Paul Simmons, Jane Daniels' instant success in the NFL is really going to push Shedeur's draft stock up because he has the same exact abilities. Yes. And it shows you, Paul Simmons, how important it is to have, ideally, it's a head coach. But if not, you have to have that perfect fit with the offensive coordinator. Fit means so much in the NFL, right? And to see what Cliff Kingsbury is doing with him, putting him in positions to be successful, it's a beautiful thing to see. It's something that some of these other quarterbacks, such as Caleb Williams, and I guess we'll find out with Drake May, they don't, my opinion is they don't have that luxury. They don't have that luxury of being put in a system and with a coach that's going to get the best out of them, that understands how to bring a rookie along. Cliff Kingsbury's already had that experience with Kyler Murray, and this time he's got a guy that's like another foot taller. So it's wonderful to see. But I agree with you. Right now, my hope is that Miami just tanks this thing. I would love to see Shedeur in Miami. Don't want to see him, and I don't think the Sanders family will allow him to go to Carolina. And the New York Giants, at least they've had some success. The Giants would be a pretty cool situation, but I think Miami would just be a better fit. But we'll have to see who the Giants hire this offseason, because I imagine Brian Daboll is going to be out of there. Shirley, good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. No doubt about it. Feels so good to have a defense. I've always been confident in our offense, but not to have a defense feels amazing. Yes. And they're our most consistent. Like, I think our team gets our identity from our defense, man. Like, that's how great they've been. Like, I feel like they set the tone. And you saw, I mean, when the offense came out in that first drive, threw the pick, looked like dog crap, right? We saw this defense step up and again set the tone, restart the game, man. They make big plays when it matters. They set the tone for this team. And that's NFL style football, man. That's NFL style football. Same formula for CU to win. Yes, against KSU, stop the run the ball, control the clock, take some deep shots, do your job on special teams. Yeah, none of this is rocket science. We got talent. Now let's just be disciplined and know what we're doing out there, right? CU will peak in November. That's what the best teams do. And guys, one thing I was so anxious to see that I talked about throughout this offseason was, how is this team going to respond getting punched in the mouth, getting embarrassed on the field? If it were to happen, to that level, which I felt it did against Nebraska, right? But how do we respond after something like Oregon happens? And I think it's safe to say, now 3 games removed from Nebraska, I mean, this team just responded so differently than we did against Oregon last year. Again, credit to the leadership, credit Cameron Silman-Craig, Shane Cokes, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, our linebackers, like all these guys that are setting the tone, Chidoze, all these guys that are setting the tone. I feel like we got a great locker room, and these guys truly play for each other. They don't give up. They don't point fingers. They're not going to social media to air their grievances, anything like that. No. These guys are so worth watching and so fun to root for. I'm just going to go through a few more of these comments. Sorry, guys, I'm not getting to all of them. CU is now better than Georgia and Alabama. Well, I don't know if I would go that far yet. But hey, if we can just protect 2, right? Now, if we were to go as far as making the college football playoff, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that matchup, no doubt about it. But I kind of agree with what Bucky said today. We don't deserve to be ranked yet. We definitely do not. But we're right on the cusp of it. We're getting there. And I think if we have another statement game, come out and make a statement against Kansas State, that can't be denied. That can't be denied. But I'm glad that we're not ranked going into this game against KSU. I don't want this group feeling like they've earned it. Yes. Have they turned a corner? Yes. Have they reached the promised land yet? No. So I think the fact that we're still unranked, that should still eat at them, get them pissed off, playing with a chip on their shoulder. Let's go out and make another statement, man. Let's go out and make another statement against Kansas State here in a week and a half. CU's defense is the Iron Curtain 2.0. Man, I love it. We need to, maybe we call it the Iron Curtain. Maybe we call it something else. like the Stampede, something like that. Like it does need a real nickname, man, because this is the best defense, man, we've seen in a long time here at CU. It's awesome. Yeah, and we got so much more room to improve. I agree, Stanford. And Rennie, the Titans would be another really interesting fit, especially with Brian Callahan there in Tennessee. I'm always more of a fan of these rookie quarterbacks going to offensive head coaches. Um, the guy who's coaching, Dan Quinn, he's been kind of an outlier when it comes to these defensive coaches in the NFL, where he's always had a lot of success going back to his time in Atlanta too, just always hiring good offensive coordinators. The problem is that when the OCs are good, they're always getting poached for head coaching jobs. So you always have to make sure you're hitting it on that next hire for the OC. Dan Quinn's one of those few defensive head coaches that can get the offense right, that I feel like gets it right more often than not. Jackson Peace, great channel, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is just a lot of fun to do, man. I really do enjoy it. Brady B, I alluded to this yesterday in my video talking about how CU's rebuild has turned a corner. Yes, I brought up how this start, it feels kind of similar to 2016 in a sense. And I'm glad that you're pointing this out. This defense is starting to look a lot like the 2016 defense. Yeah. And that was the last time we had a badass dominant defense. No doubt about it. And we play with that same kind of swagger, attitude, physicality. No doubt about it. So who knows where we go from here? But I feel like we're going to continue to improve every week. That's what good coaching does. Best man, good to see you. No doubt. Like I love talking with you guys here in the chat. It's wonderful to see you guys in here so often. Number 2 will be traded immediately to where Coach Prime wants him to go. And again, I'm just going to throw this out there because I am a fan. But if Carolina does get that number 1 pick, I'm sure the Sanders family will do something like what the Mannings have done, with what they did with Eli and all that. But part of that threat, not play for Carolina might just be coming back and, playing your senior year or your COVID year here with the Buffs. I mean, if we have a really strong finish to the season, imagine what we could do in a third year of this core. Wouldn't that be insane? Like I'm talking about like a real college football playoff run. If we get another year to build this thing, and depending on how this thing finishes, that could be a national title run. Definitely if you're having Travis and Shedeur come back. But I know that that's a lot to give up, especially with how they're playing, and the odds are probably very, very small. But I'm going to get on here and wish for it, every so often, because you don't want to cut this family thing short now, do you? And it would be one way to avoid Carolina for both Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. Dave Tepper, I think that he's just a terrible owner. So when you're throwing drinks on people and all this other stuff with what he's done with the head coaches and the quarterback, that's a mess. Feel bad for Panthers fans. They deserve a lot better, but that could bode well for the Buffs. Best man saying 5-1 and 3-0 in the Big 12 Conference manifestation. Yes, let's be 1-0 this next week, baby. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, guys. I'm going to jump off right now. I actually got a text from my friend Jason Watkins, who runs Hall of Fame football media. He does a show on Tuesday nights. Looks like he's just asking me to hop on, which I do have some time to do. So I'm going to hop on over there. Y'all be sure to just, if you guys want to follow me over there, be sure to do that. But he was the first YouTuber that ever emailed me when I was getting started like a year and a half ago when I had like 100 subscribers, and he just told me to keep going. And so whenever he asks me to come on, I always try to make sure I can. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, Stanford, how to turn these monthly subscriptions on, like for you to gift. I have no idea how the hell. Was it Old Man that did that? Or no, it wasn't. It was Wild Dog. How he did that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I did look into it a couple minutes before I started this show, and I didn't find anything. So I'll be sure to devote more time to doing that. But thank you for continuing to put this on my mind, asking me about it. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and head over and chat with Jason. You know, he's loving what's going on, no doubt about it. And it'll be nice to talk some Buffaloes over on his show. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe. And go find me on Facebook, David Talks Buffs. Give me a like there so I can live stream. I'll be back with some film stuff tomorrow. Okay, Chicago Flow. Let's go Buffs.